Sticky Cross. Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I am a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are starting a new and very exciting mini-series for pretty selfish purposes.
Yeah, so we're doing a mini-series on Victon to catch up on their title tracks. As you probably know from our most recent Victon reactions, if you saw those, we are now both Alices. And we know the members, we have our biases, but we were requested to react to all their old title tracks. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next 3 Fridays. We pushed this up because we want to watch more Victon content, but can't because they always use their songs as background music.
So for today's video then, we will be watching their debut, I'm Fine, 아무렇지 않은 척, and Eyes. We've seen the thumbnails, it's gonna be real weird.
I know, it's gonna be so weird. They're young. I heard it's a cutesy image, which is very different from what we've seen of them so far. Because we've seen Howling to now.
Yeah. So let's just go.
This is so weird. Oh my god. Oh, is that Naeun?
Oh my god.
Oh, it is
Oh, it is!
Wow, why have we been more excited about her? Sorry.
Oh.
2016.
This is so bright.
2016.
This is startling.
I know.
Oh, he's a baby. How are you feeling, Anna?
This is so strange. Oh my god. Oh. Wow.
Oh.
Oh. It's so bright.
Oh my god, right. Rapper Han Sung-woo.
Banana peel on the...
Are you triggered?
Yes, I am. Now we're gonna have to explain it too. This is so...
I'm trying to think of other debuts in 2016 though, and situate it, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, also all the super bright colors.
Yeah.
She's so pretty.
She's so pretty.
Butterfly?
Oh, cute. That's so cute.
그렇다고?
Oh, that
the,
effect
stop
on their
motion.
dancing.
It's stop motion.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh.
Who is it?
어머.
어머. This is so cute. Oh my. I'm just gonna say a couple of things because this is old, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. The dance is so playful. The way they're moving is almost doll-like, and I don't mean doll-like in like, oh, it's very pretty and it's petite. I mean it in the dance sense, when like you choreograph a dance for a marionette or something, and it's very like staccato, lots of angles, lots of like bouncing. Honestly, the stop motion section, when the effect is being put on them so that it looks like stop motion, that's kind of how the whole dance is. Like it's a lot of like jump, stop, jump, stop, jump, stop. And it really fits with the vibe of the song and with like the kind of like story that they're telling, because it kind of feels like you're watching characters portray a story. So that was really cute. I can't help but compare it to now though, because the way they dance now is so different and like very fluid and sensual. But also the biggest difference to me, and this in my mind is showing like growth more than anything, is the way they use the floor. So in dancing, you always talk about how you're supposed to use the floor. And here, it feels like the floor is here and their feet are on it, but you're not really using it. It's kind of separated, which is adding to that staccato feeling. But now they really like dig into the floor and they feel like they're kind of like utilizing it as a tool to make their dancing more sensual. And that's a lot harder to do. So I was like, oh my gosh, they've grown so much. But yeah, like overall, it's really repetitive, which makes sense because the song is really repetitive. And like for a debut song, that also makes sense to me because like how the song will get stuck in your head, and it will, because literally I was already singing it to Anna as soon as we finished filming. The dance will also get stuck in your head as like very easily recognizable because you're seeing the same movements, and if not the same exact movements, the same style of movement so frequently that like you would really only need to see it once to be able to recognize it again. And then the music video is just so bright and they're so cute, and it's so weird to see this style now. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. It's just really cute and it's very strange to me. Okay, Anna's turn.
So first, yeah, this is definitely a boy group debut song for that like era. Everything about the music video, song, lyrics, it's definitely that like concept image of like sweet, innocent, younger guy. Like they're trying to appeal to nunas. That's basically what it is. You know what that's what it is.
Yeah, but it's weird to
Just say.
Because in this video, they're all younger.
Because in this video, they're all younger than both of us are now watching it. That's really weird. But anyways, yeah, because like even in the music video, like all the solo shots where it's just like their face, the look in their eyes is just like so earnest, and they even do like the I can do it, like I see sort of. And the song itself kind of has like it has a little bit of like an old school retro vibe. Throughout the song, there's so many like record scratch sounds. They use that as a build-up a lot. Also the beat, like the bass just feels kind of more laid back, and also like random little sound effects as well. Like there is like the 1, 2 that happens occasionally, but also they have a lot of little like chimey sounding synths, like a little line that'll play, and that really adds to like the whole innocent, pure vibe. But yeah, overall the song's pretty repetitive. The way that they're singing is very like the walk, pure, straightforward. The only other thing that I had to say was like moments of silence. Choi Byung-chan comes in with like that spoken line. I was like, this is very strategic. And that's all I really had to say about the song. Before I finish and we move on, I feel like I have to clarify the story about the banana peel, but I don't really want to.
So TLDR, Anna, at a conference when she was in college, slipped on a banana in a gym and couldn't walk for basically an entire semester of college.
It was the day after my birthday, too.
Yeah, it was very upsetting.
Yeah. Alright, next! So next, we will be watching their first comeback ever, called Eyes Eyes, with a Z. Let's go? Let's go.
So are they gonna spell it?
I should not have had a drink of tea. I just filmed this at a subway station. Cool. Ice? Oh, that synth is very
Ooh.
fitting for all the lights.
Group dancing. Victon Hallmark.
What?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
할 정도로 나에게 빠져버렸으면 좋겠는데 가지고 놀면서 밀고 또 당길 때면 어쩔 수 없어 또 끌려다녀 멈추고 싶어 나만 봐줘 ice baby
There's all this like in the background.
What is this part?
Is this the outro? Han. Wow.
We've realized why we're having the reaction to this that we're having. And it's because this came out in March of 2017. And in March of 2017, I was a junior in college and Anna was a freshman in college. The Victon members, minus Subin, would have also been college age in America. And we were literally just talking about the fact that we could totally see our friends, like our college friend group, doing something like this for some sort of show. I can just imagine my friends doing this and other people being like, oh my god, they're so cute. And me being like, what are you guys doing? So like they are good, like obviously they're good looking, they're attractive, they're talented, but I like am imagining me as a 21-year-old being like, what? So anyways, that really influences how I see this. To explain the thing that you said, what? I said, oh, small group dancing, Victon Hallmark. And I've talked about this in the other Victon reactions we've done. Victon choreography uses a lot of small groups in especially the verses, and this was no different because they'll have like 3 of them do something and then 4 of them, kind of like a call and repeat. The only real difference was that nowadays it's kind of, people will usually exit stage if it's not their turn, whereas this is they're kind of all on stage, which again makes sense for a first comeback because you don't usually have people leaving the stage a lot in a group this size when they're that young because you want them to have as much exposure as possible. But I just thought that was interesting that they were doing that even back then. I really liked the placement of the jump that they did in every chorus because instead of being on the whoo, it was right after it, and they kind of like punched down on the whoo. And in my mind, I was imagining that that like punch is what released them from the ground and gave them that little bit of like in the air, like that exhale. I really liked that. I noticed it every time they did it. I was like, oh, so nice. This doesn't really have any meaningful analysis to it, more than I just noticed it a lot, but they worked in diagonals a lot, both like in straight diagonal lines where it's just one person all the way down, and then also their group formations were often set in diagonals down the stage, both diagonals. And I thought that was really interesting, and it really stood out to me even in the music video because we weren't seeing a ton of shots of the dance in the music video, like it was interspersed with individual shots. And I felt like every time I was seeing it, I was like, oh, another diagonal. And so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like a, oh, you're looking down something, like focusing on something, or if it's just supposed to make it more interesting, because it does make it more interesting when you use the depth of the stage that way. Although now that I'm thinking about it, it probably is because it makes more interesting shapes on stage, because the dance itself is pretty repetitive, so changing the formations like that breaks it up in your mind. So that's probably what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the outro was also really interesting because the quality of their dance changed. It wasn't a ton of change, but it was a little bit of a change. And it went from like aggressively, like kind of like trying to impress and trying to catch your eye, to more like, oh, I'm drawing you in, like, oh, come to me. And I was like, it doesn't feel like a distinctly different dance, but you almost could make the argument that it's like a different dance attached to the end if there had been just a little bit more space, which I think is really interesting. I don't know, I mean, I was enjoying it. It might not have seemed like I was enjoying it, but I was enjoying it. So, Anna's turn.
So it's my turn, and I really don't know how to do this because I'm like having a mental breakdown after making the whole Victon college age connections. So now talking about my comments, the song is also more on the repetitive side, but synth, so much synth. And they're all very clearly like techno sounding synths, because like, you know, there are synths that sound like in other instruments, but it's just like a synthesized version of it. No, this is like very electronic. One comment that I made during the reaction was like, oh, it's really fitting for the light. And what I meant by that was like, you see how there's all the like different lighting and like the neon lights saying eyes in the music video. All of the synths like really emphasize that, especially the one in between the first chorus and the second verse. It's like really piercing. It feels like a laser shooting out, and it's like the really bright neon. Also, talking about song and music video reflecting each other, there's a lot of like the effects in the video of the music video, like shaky camera, or like the, what is it, where it gets like kind of not fuzzy, but you know, like the blocks. But there's like a lot of little sound effects that happen in the song that are like reflecting it at the same time as well. So those just work well together to like emphasize the points. A lot of times for like those kinds of like fuzzy video effects, the synth, it's not an exact hit, but it's like a sort of build up, wind up thing, like a ball. But it's really that one sound that goes like drrrr. It sounds like the shooting games in an arcade, like the space shooting game. You know, that I forget what it's called. And then for their singing in this song, it's a obviously different style song, and the way that they're singing is different. One thing that just really sticks out to me is when Seungshik is singing in the beginning, in the first verse, and he does this like head thing, but also like the stylistic choices of like leaning in, leaning out for the concept and vibe of the song. Whereas like before it was very like do, do, do. Last thing is the intro and outro. It's interesting because you were saying that like their dance style changes for the outro, and like if there was more space in between it, it would have felt just like a dance added on. And I feel that way with the music too. It just felt kind of abrupt. As an intro, it like isn't as abrupt because it's like, oh, this is the first thing that you're hearing, and then it switches into the rest of the song. But as an outro, because the rest of the song has been pretty repetitive with the whole like eyes, da, 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 and then like high energy, and then it like all of a sudden there's not even like a slow decrescendo. It's just like split second of silence. Now we're in this like more softer part, more R&B-y part. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
TLDR is, we are honestly just very shook by a lot of things in this video because their debut song was a super different concept than we were used to, and then we made some very shocking connections during Ours Eyes. However, it was really interesting to see where Victon started, since we'd only seen them recently now, and to see how they had grown and changed and like really tried a bunch of different styles. So
Yeah.
tune in next week for more.
But that being said, if you enjoyed this reaction video, can relate to us, or I don't know, have mixed feelings, I don't know what it is, then please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!